Thanks for watching Six News. Now, there are a lot of minor parties running this election, a lot of parties in general. 23 registered, a bunch of others tried getting registered, and a bunch of others are endorsing independent candidates. What does that mean? Well, essentially, you will not see a party name on the ballot paper, but that party will be backing them, and they will be doing that, probably openly. So, we'll be covering all of them, because, why not? So, let's begin, and we're going to go in alphabetical order, starting with the Angry Victorians Party. They are the state branch of the Australian Values Party, focused on veterans' rights. The party's state leader is Chris Burson, a former army veteran and police officer. They have one MP, being Catherine Cumming. The Animal Justice Party currently has one MP, Andy Medic, in the Western Vic region. He was elected with a party vote of 2.77%, and according to The Age, voted with Labor's position 83.2% of the time, the most of any upper house crossbencher. The Australian Democrats are a centrist party that lost its national representation in the 2000s and hasn't been able to win seats. They had their application rejected. The Australian Federation Party ran in 2018 under the old name of the Country Party. They say on their website they're against the incompetence and corruption of Labor, Liberals, Greens and Nationals. Had an application rejected amid reports they were merging or had been swallowed up by the Freedom Party. Labor has held government for all but 4 years in Victoria since 2000, and what's been seen as a long-lasting dominance in state politics. Dan Andrews became party leader in 2010, while Jacinta Allen became the deputy early this year. They lost 2 upper house MPs as a result of resignations since 2018, but their numbers have remained the same in the lower house. The party hasn't always had a smooth run, though. Labor are facing repeated branch stacking and corruption allegations, and a large number of senior MPs are not recontesting their seats. AustraliaOne, also known as A1, was formed by Ricardo Bosey. The party did endorse some independents in 2022's federal election, but they've never been registered after 2 years. They are also endorsing several candidates this election. The Child Protection Party is largely unknown, but has endorsed at least one independent candidate. The Companions and Pets Party supports your, quote, right to own companion animals and pets, and to engage in lawful pursuits with your animals, according to their website, that extends from dogs and cats to racing greyhounds and show dogs. The Democratic Labor Party, or Labor DLP, was formed in the 50s as a result of Labor's third split in their history. Expelled Lib MP Bernie Finn joined them earlier this year. Derryn Hinch's Justice Party had 3 MPs elected to the upper house in 2018, although one, Catherine Cumming, left before being sworn in. They've been described as having a hardline law and order stance, calling for more jail, less bail. Former Senator Party namesake Derryn Hinch is running in this election. The Drew PAVLOU Democratic Alliance considered running, according to 6 News sources, but ended up not doing so. Family First has been called a revival of the original Family First and has traditionally had success in SA, with a focus on religious freedoms, faith and, as you'd probably expect, family. Family First Victoria pulled out in August amid an ongoing battle with Family First. They were led by Lisa Bentley, who was planning to run in the Western Metro region, and had a focus on mental health. Family Matters Australia is currently very unknown when it comes to information, but they did publish a website without changing anything from the original template. I think it was all in Latin. Their application was unsuccessful. The Freedom Party Victoria was set up by Morgan C. Jonas, an anti-lockdown activist who ran in the 2022 federal election as an independent Senate candidate, and Aidan McLindon, a former Queensland MP who has been in 8 parties. Fusion Science Pirate Secular Climate Emergency, also known more simply as the Fusion Party, was formed earlier this year as a result of a merger between multiple parties. They received less than 0.5% of the vote in the Senate when running in Victoria at the May election. Their application was rejected, but they are backing several independent candidates. The Health Australia Party has been accused of being anti-vax, although they deny that. They were originally planning to change their name to the Coalition for Freedom, Prosperity, Health at this election, but ended up not doing so. The Independence Party was formed earlier this year by ex-Hinch and independent MLC, there's her name again, Catherine Cumming. Like many running this year, the party's platform included pushing for honesty and integrity. They plan to run in every single seat, but had an application rejected. The Indigenous-Aboriginal Party of Australia is a party, quote, run by Indigenous people to tackle Indigenous issues. They ran in the Fed election but had an application rejected here and are instead endorsing several independent candidates. Legalise Cannabis Victoria is a pro-cannabis party that came close to winning 2 seats at the federal election. They won 2 seats in the 2021 WA election, which was helped by group voting tickets, the system currently in place in Victoria. The Legalise Marijuana Party pulled out in late September following objections from Legalise Cannabis, with almost nothing nothing known about them, although the Animal Justice Party alleges it was set up by Glenn Drury. The Liberal Democrats have two MLCs, David Limbrick and Tim Quilty. The party, described by many as a freedom party, they pushed a strong pro-free speech view, even seeing them oppose a ban on Nazi symbols earlier this year on the basis it was a free speech issue. Limbrick ran unsuccessfully in the Senate in May before returning to the upper house after a brief absence. The Liberals are currently led by Matthew Guy, with David Southwick as deputy. Guy resigned as party leader after the 2018 loss, leading to Michael O'Brien becoming opposition leader, but he didn't even make it to the election, with Guy returning after a spill in September 2021 following an early one from Brad Batten in March. Their last premier was Dennis Knapfine, who became premier after the resignation of Ted Badu. That all happened in one term. The Nationals are currently the junior partner in the coalition led by Peter Walsh. The party is under threat, some would say, from rural independents, and currently have just 6 lower house seats and 1 upper house seat. Amid some claims as well, the party is struggling to remain a significant force in state politics. The New Democrats are formed by Labor turned independent MLC Kushulia Vagella, who resigned from the party after crossing the floor, which is against party rules. One Nation was registered for 2018 but did not run there, however are running now and are hoping for some success despite most of their traditional support coming from places like Queensland. Reason is led by Upper House MP Fiona Patten, elected in 2014 as a sex party MP. They push for drug reform, decriminalisation of sex work and expanding abortion access. Restore Democracy SAC Dan Andrews was founded by Tosh Jake Finnegan, a self-described ex-Labor staffer, Red Shirts whistleblower, anti-corruption campaigner and candidate for the Western Vic region. They've managed to buy the domain name viclabor.org, although it was alleged by Glenn Drury himself that he set up the party. Shooters Fishers Farmers currently have Jeff Borman as their only MLC, according to the party website. He started shooting rabbits when he was 14 and got into bigger rifles by the time he was 18. Socialist Alliance had an electoral alliance with a Vic Socialist in 2018, are no longer registered and now backing several lower house independents. The Stop Selling Australia party floated the idea of running on their Facebook page but ended up not doing so. Sustainable Australia, officially Sustainable Australia Party Stop Our Development / Corruption, currently has one MLC in Clifford Hayes. They say they don't have a left or right wing ideology and have called for transparent democracy. The Conservative Party was formed just days ago with the backing of the civil society, who also tried to form the Sensible Centre Party. Vern Hughes is a director of the Civil Society, which of course has backed the Conservative Party, a party Hughes is himself promoting on social media, so it can be concluded he is at least affiliated with them. The Greens are a pretty well-known party, so we don't need to explain too much about who they are, but in terms of recent activity, the party has been facing allegations of internal issues and transphobia from some of its members. In terms of Parliament actions, they've been protesting a Labor bill which would, quote, see protesters threatened with fines and jail time for trying to protect native forests. The party has 3 MLAs and 1 MLC. Transport matters is a focus on, as you'd expect, transport, including extending the free tram zone. Their only MLC, Rod Barton, was elected in 2018 with just 0.62% of the vote. The United Australia Party recently won a Vic Senate seat and are now aiming to win Vic seats on a state level. The Victoria Climate Change Party had John Brick as a registered officer. Their application was deemed invalid in September due to not meeting legislative requirements. That's literally all we know. The Victorian Socialists are, as you might expect, a socialist party that has called for a radical reorganisation of society, the first symbol of which is the redistribution of wealth and power. The Victorians Party, a self-described centrist party formed by business owners affected by COVID lockdowns, was set to run until August when they pulled out, citing donation laws. And as a bonus, there are several parties who ran in 2018 not running again. Voluntary Euthanasia, which had 1.19% of the vote, merged into Reason. The Aussie Battler Party said they plan to expand shortly after the 2018 election, where they had 0.93% of the vote, but soon dried up. The Australian Liberty Alliance, with 0.56% of the vote, soon became Yellow Vest Australia before drying up. Hudson for Northern Victoria, which somewhat strangely didn't run solely in Northern Victoria, had 0.18% of the vote before disbanding. And Vote One Local Jobs at 0.15% of the vote, losing their sole MLC before also disbanding. So that's every single party running, that's every single party endorsing independence, that's every party that was supposed to run, and that's every party not running again from 2018. Live election night coverage from 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time on 6 News, on our YouTube channel, on our website, SIXNewsAU.com, Saturday, November 26th, and rolling coverage right here on our YouTube channel. I'm Leonardo Puglisi, you've been watching 6 News.